Welcome back to Big Nick's Meats and Treats. I know it's been a long haul since I've done a video. It's been a beautiful summer here. Played a ton of golf, not very well, but I've been out on the course playing a lot of golf. And yesterday the wife got the house all decorated up for fall, and it kind of inspired me to make these cookies. I'm gonna make some giant bakery style chocolate cookies, and they're absolutely delicious. Before I do that, I want to give a big shout out to my great nephews, Caleb and Blake. They're big fans of the show, and I appreciate being your favorite uncle. So there you go. So we're going to start off these cookies. Fantastic. I'm going to take a cup of butter. That's 2 sticks. 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Put that in there. Hook up the mixer. With my KitchenAid, I bought one of these paddles that has a spatula on the side of it. Works really, really well. Highly recommend it. If you don't have one of those, get yourself one. And I'm gonna cream this together, the butter and the sugars here. Get this all creamed up. Just takes a few seconds. These are really, really good cookies. The kids absolutely love them, and they're just giant. All right, we got that all blended up together. That's good. Now I'm gonna add 2 eggs. And a teaspoon of vanilla. I've tried all different kinds of vanillas, including the really fancy liquid stuff. I like the fake stuff better. Tastes better, and especially in baked goods. All right, now I'm gonna mix that up for about 30 seconds or so. So I'll see you when we get this all mixed up. All right, welcome back. Now we're gonna do the dry ingredients. I'm gonna do 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna do a 1/2 cup of dry cocoa powder. Get out of there, being difficult. 1 cup of cake flour. So if you don't have cake flour around the house, you're gonna wanna go get that before you make this. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of table salt. Okay, I use table salt for baked goods, kosher salt when you're doing meats. Okay, that's a 1/2 teaspoon. And then 1 cup of chocolate chips. So I'm doing chocolate chips and cocoa powder. These are gonna be chocolatey chocolate cookies. On the butter, I forgot to mention on the butter, make sure it's softened butter when you put it in there, okay? Now I'm gonna turn the mixer on. Make sure you do this really slow so you don't get a big old flour storm in the kitchen. So start off really slow until stuff starts getting mixed together. We're gonna let this go until it gets all well blended, okay? We'll see you in a few minutes. All right, I'm gonna take that dough that I made, and I'm gonna separate it into 8 equal parts. So we're gonna end up with these giant Mondo cookies. They're pretty good size. They're a little bit smaller than a baseball, but you're gonna make 8 of them, and you're gonna put them on parchment paper on cookie sheets, okay? Make sure you have your oven preheated to 400 degrees, and we're gonna cook these things for about 13.5 minutes. So I'm gonna get these things in the oven, and we'll see you in about 13 minutes. All right, the first batch is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull those things out. Oh my gosh, look how big those things are. Man, does it smell good. Okay, here's the deal with these. They're pretty fragile when you bring them out of the oven. So you wanna let them sit on the cookie sheet for about 15 minutes. So while those are sitting there cooling, I'm gonna put the second batch in the oven and get those going. Get my timer set. And about the time I pull those out, I'll be able to put these on the cooling rack and get ready to dig into one of those suckers. I'll see you in a few. All right, our second batch is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the first batch off the cookie sheet. If you don't have yourself a fish spatula, you need to get one of these. It's great for handling fragile baked goods. And then I'm gonna transfer these over to a wire cooling rack. And then I'll get that second batch out of the oven. Oh yeah, baby. Now those have to sit there for 15 minutes. Let those sit on the cookie sheet for 15 minutes, and then I'll transfer those over to the cooling rack, and then I'm gonna dig into one of those suckers. I'll see you in a few. All right, the second batch has cooled. I got them on the cooling racks, and look at the size of these Hummers. It only makes 8 cookies, but they are giant. I'm gonna dig into one of these things here, and just to show you in my hand, this thing is the size of my hand, and I don't have lady hands. These are full-size man hands here. I'm gonna dig into this thing. Oh, it's kind of like a cross between a brownie, cake, and a cookie. It's just fantastic. Man alive, I could eat my body weight in these things. That's really good. Hey, I'm gonna put a link on the bottom there. Give me a like and a subscribe. And tell your friends about us. And until I see you next time, we'll do another video. Watch me work, baby. Watch me work.